everybody, this is Tony from Blue Butterfly Creations, and I have another webisode for you using the Die Cuts with a View Christmas and Winter Stack for 2011. What I did is I took out 2 pages of the Ready to Finish, and it's this one here with these little coffee pots, and it's got this nice little trim. I took 2 sheets of that out of the stack. I also took 2 sheets of this pretty pattern paper and I trimmed it up for underneath my photos. I have some green cardstock that I used as well. So I'm going to set this stuff aside and we're going to get started. So here in front of me I have one of those 12 by 12 sheets with the Ready to Finish paper. From out of the Die Cuts with a View Christmas Winter Stack, I found this neat little Made with Love label, and I cut it out from the page, and that's going to become a spot where I can journal on my page. From this pretty poinsettia pattern paper, I cut this little square, which is 3 by 3. And I cut this one, which is 4.5 by 6.5. I rounded all the corners. Then I cut the green cardstock to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 and 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 for my mat. I also have this piece of red ribbon that says Merry Christmas with little hearts. And that's cut to 13 inches, so I have 1/2 inch to wrap using the tier method. What I'm going to do is wrap that so it overlaps on this trim printed on the paper. So I'm going to just hold it where I want it. I'm going to flip my paper, run my adhesive, fold it over. Do the same on the other side. Making sure it's tight, but not too tight. Just like so. Flip my page back over. See how the ribbon is centered? Gives it that nice little touch. I'm also going to go ahead and apply adhesive to the back side of my poinsettia prints. Again, 3 by 3 rounded edges, 4.5 by 6.5 rounded edges. Run my adhesive. Mount them onto the green cardstock. Right there. Same here. So I'm going to put this as portrait. This one's just going to sit. And this one, I think I'm going to round or add some decorative touch. You know what? I'm going to use my Fiskars Heritage Punch, Core Punch, and I'm going to give it this decorative pointed edge. So if you have access to this punch, this is the punch to the left of Heritage. It's a nice little touch. Run my adhesive on the back. Putting it up in this corner. About 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in. Running adhesive on the back of this cardstock for the little square. And I'm going to put that at a slight angle underneath my square here. Run my adhesive here on the larger one. And I'm going to put that slightly angled on the other way. And that is the first page. Here is the second one. And I found this other little label in that same stack. And I bought this three-dimensional poinsettia, and the label originally had poinsettia, so I just set this over it, lining up the leaves. I have that ribbon to match the other page. And I have another photo mat, same sizes, 4.5 by 6.5, on a piece of cardstock that's 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, rounded edges. The 3 by 3 poinsettia paper, rounded edges, and the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 cardstock. I have this label, Traditions, mounted on green cardstock to go with it. So I'll move these littler pieces off to the side. I'm going to do the same thing I did before with the ribbon. It's measured 13 inches for a 1/2 inch wrap. So I'm going to line it up where I want it, flip my page, apply my adhesive, so, press it into place. Oops. Again. There it is. Apply my adhesive. Nope. Flip my page back over. I'm going to apply adhesive to my poinsettia paper and then mount it on my green. Ran out of adhesive. Change my cartridge real quick. Putting on my cardstock. Run adhesive on the other one. And place that. I'm going to run some adhesive on the back side of this label with the three-dimensional poinsettia. And on the back side of my Traditions label. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the other page so I can get an idea of how these two pages will look together and where I want to place the next set of pictures. So I have one big one here towards the center seam. So I'm going to put this other one towards the other side. Just like, you know what, actually I changed my mind. And that happens. I'm going to actually keep this towards the center. Like this. There we go. I'm going to put my smaller pieces towards the outer side. But I'm going to mix them up a little. I'm going to actually make this one touch and slightly overlap. I'm going to have my Traditions down under here, like this, and my poinsettia up towards the top here. So it kind of looks like falling boxes. that better. There we go. So there are those two 12 by 12 ready-made pages completed. And this is again Die Cuts with a View, the Christmas Winter Stack for 2011. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Blue Butterfly Creations.blogspot.com.